make tomato soup. It is snowing outside and it is freezing cold. John and I have been outside on the tractor, so we were in a warm tractor. I'm not going to lie about it. And we fed the cows hay, and I actually walked y'all around, so I'm going to post that video too, because y'all can see the snow and the cows and the chickens. It's really nice, and we don't get that very often down here in Louisiana, so I thought I'd record it. But anyway, I want to get started on my tomatoes, because I am going to roast these tomatoes. Let me find this. A little paring knife has been done good for me to find that before I got on here, right? I know. I thought I had everything. But anyway, all I do is, on my tomatoes, what I'm going to use for tomatoes, best case scenario is make this during the summer, you know, when you have them in your own garden. But I didn't have that many, so I couldn't put any of this soup up this year. But anyway, I've got some Roma tomatoes, and I've got some hothouse tomatoes that I bought in the store, and I've got some vine ripened tomatoes. So I just got a little smorgasbord there in town. They all look good. The riper the tomato, the better flavored your soup will be. If y'all hear that in the background, that is John. He's watching meaningless television, as he says, since he's got him a snow day going on. So, and it's always got to be a shoot 'em up, bang 'em up is what I call them, or he calls them that too. That's what he calls them, really, and I just copy him. Y'all see what I'm doing? I am just coring these tomatoes. We'll use every other part of it, but I'm just taking my paring knife, and I'm just coming in and just reaching right in and getting that little core out. That's the only part we don't want in our soup, do we? No, that's not going to be good. Right there, y'all see that? That's the only part we're not going to use, okay? So that's what I'm doing, and I won't make y'all sit here the whole time and watch me do that. I just wanted to show y'all a variety of what I had. And I did wash these really, really good in my colander. I scrubbed each one of them, and I even put some vinegar water on them to get them really clean on the outside before I start this, since we're going to eat it all. And y'all know John doesn't like tomato peels, but I will blend this. I have an immersion blender that I'll use, and we'll get all those peels blended. That core goes on down in there. He's not quite right, so I'm going to give him a little bit more. Just make sure you get that core out. It's just kind of bitter, I guess. You know? Y'all know? Yeah. Now that's better. Y'all see what I'm doing? And I'm going to share this. I'm making a huge batch of it because my friend Paula, that has the plant nursery, her husband and she do, she asked me for a good tomato soup recipe, and I thought, she's such a good friend, and she and I traveled to Europe together during the winter 2 years back with a big old school group, and she took her daughter and I took my son. It was sort of their high school trips, maybe senior trips, and so we're reminiscing. All our pictures are popping up as a memory on Facebook, so we keep sending them, talking to one another about it. But anyway, she asked me for a good tomato soup recipe, and I thought, well, I need to come up with one that I can share with her, and I thought, even better, I can share the soup with her because she lives locally. Yes, I can. So I'm going to make a double batch of this, guys. And I know y'all are so surprised that I'm going to do that. And then I can share some with her. I'm going to surprise her with it. But I will be back, and I'm going to, on YouTube, I'm going to put the recipe with all the ingredients list in the description box on YouTube, okay? So if you want the recipe, please go to YouTube, and you can find the description box, and I will have the recipe in it for y'all, so y'all don't have to keep up, and y'all can just sit back and enjoy, okay? I'm going to come back when I get through with these, and we're going to move on. Start preheating your oven to 450 degrees, okay, because we're going to pre-roast this. This is a roasted tomato soup, and it gives it even a deeper flavor. So y'all enjoy. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all. I don't want to leave y'all out of my next step. My next step, I got me out some big old sheet pans, and y'all know I'm making a double batch to share with Paula. and her family, but y'all can just stick to like half is what I'm doing, okay? And so I've got somewhere in the neighborhood about 30 tomatoes or 8 pounds. And you can do this with 3 or 4 pounds of tomatoes, or somewhere about 15 to 20 tomatoes, okay? And I hate to name how many tomatoes, because y'all know every tomato is a different size, right? I know. I'm just slicing these tomatoes in half, just like that, okay? I'm going to put them on my baking sheets, my sheet pans. I'm going to do them the slice side down, just like this. I'm just putting them sliced side down, guys. And then I'm also going to put on there, and that's what I came on here to show y'all, all the other things we're going to need for this soup. So y'all can make a list. We're going to need a red bell pepper. I love to put him in there and roast him. You know, you can roast him right on the fire on your gas stove, but since I'm roasting my tomatoes, I'm going to roast him in the oven as well. I'm just cutting out my seed and my inside innards in there. Get that out so we can get this cut up. Just adds a little something to your soup, one of your little flavorings. There we go. Got that out of there. Easy, easy, easy. I'm just going to cut a couple of, cut them in about quarters like that, and I'm also going to lay them skin side up so they can roast in here. And I'm doing a double batch, so I'll put half on one pan and half on the other pan, okay? Okay, some other things you're going to need. Purple onion. I say purple onion because this is red. This is red, and that's purple, right? I always pick and say a colorblind person name that onion, but you know what? They got to name it. It was their onion, so they call it a red onion. I give them that, but it's purple to me. It is just purple. All right, guys, I just cut both ends of my onion off. I'm going to cut him in half. I'm going to peel that outer layer off of there. So it'll be nice and clean. It gets down to an even more purple color, doesn't it? This is another layer of flavor in there. And I'm actually going to slice these like that. Some thin slices so they can really roast good in there with those tomatoes. Y'all see that? Just kind of slice them thin. And I've got 2 out, and these are about just medium size, okay? So, that's all I know to tell you. They're not real large, they're just about medium. I'm also going to slice about 4 nice sized cloves of garlic, okay? I'm going to get those out of here. About 4 nice cloves of garlic. I'm going to slice those. Those are also going on the sheet pan. I'm going to smash them, kind of loosen up that skin. Cut that end off, that stem end off there. I should put on my onion goggles, y'all. This purple onion is, whew. You can use yellow onion or white onion too. I like the purple onion because it's just sweeter, so I like that little sweeter flavor in this tomato soup. Get these like this, peeled, and then I'm going to slice. Just slice them like this. If you chop it, it'll tend to want to kind of burn in the oven when we roast them on 450. So I just do some nice slices. Y'all see those nice slices? There we go. I'm going to put about 2 cloves on each sheet pan. Trying to keep up with you. I'm going to sprinkle some sea salt and some black pepper. I'm going to do a drizzle of balsamic vinegar. That's another thing for your list. I'm going to sprinkle some cayenne pepper, about a teaspoon on each tray. Olive oil. And I think that's all with the onions and the bell pepper and the garlic. Then I'm going to roast these 450 degrees for about 30 minutes. And afterwards, we're going to also add, oh, I think I'm going to sprinkle some brown sugar on there too. Just like this. Y'all hearing the shoot 'em up, bang 'em up? Me too. I'm trying to scream over it. Some brown sugar, I'm gonna sprinkle about a teaspoon on each tray too. And that caramelizes those tomatoes, and the sugar also balances the acidity. So, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get all this done and I'll be back. Alright, y'all. We got all that done. Y'all see all that on this sheet. I've got a second sheet because I'm doing a double batch. Y'all know me. I've got some olive oil. I'm going to drizzle some olive oil on there. I don't really have an amount. Y'all just see what I'm doing. You almost just can't put too much, okay? I've got sea salt. It's really good on here, so I'm going to put some sea salt. A nice sprinkle of it. Be generous, because you know your tomatoes have no salt. None. And we'll put some black pepper. Fresh ground pepper. Mine's pepper melange. I know, y'all know I always say black pepper. But it's the green and the red and the pink and the white and the black. And then I've got some balsamic vinegar. And this, tomatoes love balsamic vinegar, and balsamic vinegar loves tomatoes. And if we drizzle a little bit on here, it's actually going to almost candy on these tomatoes. You know what I mean? It's going to be really, really good. If you don't have the sea salt, you're welcome just to put some plain old table salt, okay? So don't stress about going out and getting any sea salt. I've got cayenne pepper. This is optional. If you don't want it to be hot at all, or even have a little bit of spice, it's totally optional. But we do like a little bit of spice, so I'm going to sprinkle about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. That's up to you. And brown sugar, and y'all had to make some brown sugar because my brown sugar's down in the candy kitchen and it's snowy outside and cold, and we'd already been out till my toes and my fingers were about frozen. So I just got some white sugar and put a little bit of molasses in there and stirred it right till I made some brown sugar. So I'm going to put a nice teaspoon of this. It's very moist since I just made it. This also will kind of candy and caramel, and it balances out the acidity in the tomatoes. So if you don't want to use brown sugar, just sprinkle you about a teaspoon of white sugar, okay? All right, into the oven for about 30 minutes, and then we'll get on to our next step of this wonderful soup. Okay, y'all. While we've got those tomatoes and red pepper and purple onion and garlic in the oven roasting, we're going to make a little, sort of like a little pesto to drizzle over the top of it if you want it on your soup. And so I've got a pack of pine nuts, and y'all know I'm doing a double batch, and this is let's say a 4-ounce thing, baby?
Yep.
Okay. It's 4 ounces, so like I say, you could do half this much, okay? And I'm going to toast them just in a dry pan. A dry pan right here. Matter of fact, John, he's come in the kitchen. He quit watching that shoot 'em up, bang 'em up because it was so loud. And baby, if you would just kind of sit 'em like that. Yeah, and you just every once in a while kind of just wiggle them a little bit. And let's see here, darling. Get you a spoon.
Third spoon.
Just get you a little spoon. But they kind of just need to sit.
Okay.
And just don't let them burn, okay? You're in charge.
I got it.
Okay, guys. Let me see here. I'm getting him toasting those, and I've got some roasted red bell peppers, just like we're roasting one in the oven. You can buy them in a jar. So if you don't want to do that, but since we're already roasting those tomatoes, I said we would roast one. This we're going to put in the pesto. We've also got some sun-dried tomatoes, and they're in a nice oil. We'll use a little bit of that oil and the sun-dried tomatoes in our pesto. We'll do a little sea salt and some pepper. If we need it, we're going to taste it. A little more olive oil, and I'm going to get some Parmesan cheese, and I'll be back and we'll make this pesto with these toasted pine nuts that John's doing for us. Okay, y'all. Here we are. John toasted up our pine nuts all pretty and toasted for us. Y'all see them? And I'm going to kind of start with this to come up with measurements for y'all. I'm going to do about a half a cup of these, okay? Or maybe a little less than a half. I just kind of taste. I want to do a half a cup so we'll be able to have a measurement. I know. And I've got some Parmesan, some shredded Parmesan cheese. I'm going to do about a half a cup of that, okay? And I've got this immersion blender, so I'm just putting it in this cup that came with it while I make a mess with my Parmesan cheese. Measuring sometimes makes messes, doesn't it? I know. There we go. Now, that's pretty good. Pretty good. And I've got these roasted red bell pepper strips, just like we're doing some right now, aren't we? We got a little spoon. And I'm going to put, let's see, start with about a quarter of a cup. See how it's got some of those charred black pieces on it? One time I started to roast that red bell pepper over my gas fire and show y'all how to do that. I know a lot of you know. But since I was putting the other stuff in the oven, I thought, well, why do that step? I didn't want to scare everybody. Too many steps, huh? This is supposed to be an easy roasted tomato soup for our snowy day. Okay, that's about a half a cup. I put a little of that juice. It's not an oil, so I really not sticking with that one. And this is these sun-dried tomatoes that are in an oil. They smell so good. Yes, they do. I'll try to do about a half a cup of them. Hope y'all can see them good. They're so pretty. Deep, talk about a rich flavor. This will just be a little spoon you can drizzle on the top of it to go on our soup. And about a half a cup of that, and I'll drizzle a little bit of this oil, okay, that comes out of these tomatoes, because it's so good. So good and flavorful. Let me taste. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's got some oil. Let me wash my finger, guys. I'm sharing this. We got to clean it up. Yeah, we do. Okay, I'm going to put just a teeny pinch of some sea salt in here. Just a pinch, because I know those nuts don't have any salt, but that parm's pretty salty, isn't it? I know. Wrong lid. Put some black pepper in there. Not black pepper, I know. Y'all know, right? And a drizzle of olive oil, too. A good drizzle, so this will all come together. I'm going to do this, it's going to be loud. It's going to be louder than John shoot 'em up, bang 'em up. I'm going to have some more olive oil, but I'm going to start with this. I wanted to show y'all some other options, okay, guys? So you won't have to use him. If you don't have one of these, I don't want you to think you can't make this soup or this pesto. Okay, I'm going to show you some other stuff. You can also use a small little food processor. You see this little one? I got this thing years ago at Walmart for like $9.99, okay? Just a teeny tiny one. I know, y'all see that almost fall over on me? You can do that, or you can put it in a blender, okay? And if you really didn't want to do any of that, you could do it in a mortar and pestle. I mean, you know, you could grind it yourself, but since I'm using that on my tomato soup anyway, I've got that out. I'm going to finish this and come back and show you what it looks like. I'm going to put this stuff up out of our way. Okay, guys. It didn't take but another second. I drizzled some more olive oil so it would all come together. So I wanted to hop back on here with y'all. Y'all see it's making a real rich, flavorful thing to drizzle on top. There we go. I'm going to taste it. Let's taste it, guys. Hope y'all can see it. Can you see that? Let me come up here too, y'all. Nice, beautiful, deep, rich pesto to go on top of our soup. Like I say, you'll just put a little dollop of that, kind of stir in a little bit in your soup. I'll taste it. I can taste the Parmesan, I can taste the roasted red peppers, I can really taste the sun-dried tomatoes. Ooh, and the pine nuts and the parm. That's great and wonderful. I'm going to jar this up real cute for Paula and for us. And if you do not want to make this, if you don't want to make that pesto or fool with all that or have it, you could just put a little drizzle of olive oil on top of your soup with a little sprinkle of Parmesan and be great and wonderful, okay? So don't think you have to add that step. That's just if you want to. If you want to. Alright guys, let me get cleaned up and we'll get those tomatoes out of the oven. Okay y'all, they roasted on 450 for 30 minutes. 450 degrees Fahrenheit. I know I'm not telling both kinds. But anyway, then once I do that, I actually turn my oven on broil. And I'm going to bring this up here and I'm going to show y'all what I get it to look like. I let that broiler toast my tomatoes. Almost blister them, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Can y'all see them blister? Can you see the blistered ones? Ooh, they look good. They all look yummy. But yeah, it kind of just blisters the top of them and toast it a bit, and that adds another depth of flavor. So I like to blister mine real quick under the broiler after they've roasted for 30 minutes, okay? What I'm going to do next, I've got both my pans here, so I'm going to put each of these pans into a stock pot, a deep stock pot, because we're going to add chicken broth and cream and butter, and then we're going to blend this together and make a nice tomato soup. So I'll be back when I get that done. Okay, y'all, I've moved us over here to the stove. We've got our soup in a big stock pot, our roasted veggies, that is. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. Unsalted or salted will work, no problem. I'm going to put 2 bay leaves in there for a little added flavor. And then a quart or 4 cups of chicken stock. Trying to get both of y'all in here to see that. Put that in here. Now I'm going to bring this to a boil and then turn it down and let it simmer on low after it's come up to a boil, just long enough for everything to come together. And then we're going to immersion blend it. So I'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay guys, I'm back. It's been 20 minutes. Y'all see how it kind of just reduced, the juice reduced in both our pans of soup by about maybe a third or so. That's all you want it to do, about 20 minutes, kind of just simmering like that. I'm going to turn our fire off right now though. Show y'all how good this looks. That's my timer saying it's been 20 minutes. Let me turn that off on us so we won't have to listen to that, huh? There we go. See how everything kind of just reduced down? It's looking good. I wish y'all could smell it. I sure do. I'm trying to fish out my bay leaves now. We don't want to blend those up in there, okay? So remember, and you don't have to put the bay leaves. It'll be good without it, but we have friends down in South Louisiana that share their bay leaves off their tree with us. I've got one more in here, guys. I don't want to blend this before I find him. Alright, come on, buddy. Where are you? He's playing hide and seek, isn't he? Well, let me find him, guys, and I'll be back. Just like that, guys, as soon as I turned that off, I fished him up. So, I'm back. Let's get that off of there. Now, we're going to immersion blend this. And if you don't have an immersion blender, you are welcome to stick it in your blender. But be very careful and don't fill your blender too high because this is hot, hot, hot. I don't want you to hurt yourself, okay? So we'll just put this down in here. And you can leave it as chunky as you want, or you can make it smooth, 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 whatever you want to do. It is up to you at this point in time. I'll be back. I'm going to get ours fairly smooth, guys. Okay, guys. Look how nice and creamy and velvety it has turned out. So beautiful. Yes. This is all we've got to do to finish it off. It's about 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. Heavy cream. This is the kind I'm using, okay? Show y'all what I'm using. About 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. And you have wonderful, rich, delectable tomato soup. Doesn't that look fantastic? I know it does. I know. I need to do my other pot while y'all are on here with me. I don't know. Us and our double batch. I love to make plenty too because we can, what we don't eat, I can freeze or I can in jars. So you can have it any time of the year. Anytime, anytime. There we go. And y'all know I'm not gonna, y'all know we're not gonna waste that. No, we're not. Get it in there. Who wants to waste heavy cream? Not me. No, sir. And y'all, I did 2 3/4 of a cup, and I tell you, I may as well have just done about a cup in each, because that's just enough left over. We're not going to waste that either. And that never hurt, a little extra cream, has it? No, sir. Doesn't hurt at all. I'm going to go get a bowl and show y'all how I serve this up. Okay, guys, it is time. Yes, it is. Let me see. I'm gonna back off here. And I know this camera makes a lot of screechy noises when I do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, I did taste it, and it is delectable. I'll show you. I'm going to grill some cheese with some sourdough bread. Yes, I am. I'm not going to do that. Grilled cheese isn't good to take to a friend's because, you know, it's no good after a few minutes. You need to eat that fresh and hot. But I'm going to show y'all. I might take her the stuff to make it. And there's that little drizzle, that pesto. Remember that, what we got, y'all? Doesn't it look good? Yes. Yes, so good. And there y'all have it. Homemade tomato soup with our homemade sun-dried tomato pesto. Hey guys, I'm loading this up so I can take it to Miss Paula. I found this little basket to stick this in, and I also found these at the grocery store. Aren't they cute? They're tomato soup mugs. I just love them. I picked John and me up a couple too, so I'm going to share 2 with her and tuck that in there. And I also jarred our pesto, our sun-dried tomato pesto. Doesn't it look good? Yes, I jarred it and I labeled it on top, so I put that down in here in one of my little mugs. So I'm going to load that up for them. Try to make it pretty. Try to make it pretty. And then I also made, I know y'all seen those seasoned crackers you can make. I made seasoned crackers back with Addie, my little granddaughter, not long ago, and did a video on it. But I had a whole lot. I made the regular ones out of my saltine crackers, just regular saltines. I made the regular ones. And these are called chipotle, I think. And they're very seasoned, a little bit spicy. And I had so many of these left over. I know y'all know what these are, these Ritz crackers. I bought this big old box for Christmas and New Year's. And we ate them with several things. We ate them with that big old cheese ball we made. And we ate them, oh, John's been eating it with summer sausage and cheddar when he gets off the deer stand and stuff. But I still had some left over. So I thought, why not do some seasoned Ritz crackers? I guess they're called butter crackers in case you can't get Ritz crackers. So I seasoned some of those. So I've got some other containers here, and I'm going to split these with Paula too. I'm going to give them some saltines and some butter crackers seasoned up, and fact that I might need to get me a bigger basket, huh? Okay, guys, I will see y'all later. I may jump back on here and show y'all how I do the grilled cheese for John and me, but I may just tell y'all about it. I bought a loaf of sourdough bread, these big old long pieces of sourdough. I thought that makes some real good grilled cheese to go with this tomato soup, and of course I put cheddar and American cheese on there. You put Gruyere would be out of this world on there. So anyway, that's what we're doing for supper, and that's what I'm sharing for supper. I'll see y'all later.